Howdy everybody, Harry here. I was asked to do a video on a few of the cars that I build, specifically the power cars. These two are the most common, the most popular that I build. I have done almost 50 of these Howard Foggs. This car is number 47 or 48, and I have one more on the bench. And then that's probably going to be the end of those until I can source the grill parts again. Everything else I can pretty much make or get. You know, as you can see, firecracker antennas, the GPS dome, the flying radio antenna. That stuff's all available. And then the rest of that is just scratch built. But these grills are from Detail Associates. And as many of you may know, Detail Associates is pretty hard to get parts from if they even exist. So, now I build this using a Walther's ACF baggage dorm. Either version, the UP lettered version, saves me about an hour's worth of work. Just because I don't have to take the C&W letters off. But it does have to be the UP or C&W lettered car. Because I know they had them in Great Northern Scheme, and those are not the same. They are ACF baggage dorms, but the window arrangement's different. As you can see, I use the standard Walther's diaphragms just because they work good. I don't change them too much unless I have to. You see the other side of the car, it's nothing's done to it except for adding the Howard Fogg and UPP 209 decals. Yeah, I'm using my phone this morning, guys. Like I said, this is probably my most popular build, and this is one of the ones that really made a name for me. And like I said, I've done almost 50 of them. Technically 49 because I did one for myself as well. And I do this thing in a couple of different eras, a couple of different styles. My car has the 4-axle outside swing truck on this end instead of the 6-axle ones that were on the baggage cars. So then we'll go down here. This is the 2066. This car is my most expensive build. They start at about $425 and go clear up to $625. And you say, "Oh man, I can't see myself spending that much for the car." Well, the reason it's that much is Shapeways raised the price on me for me to print this car. For me to print this car, it's $206. So right there's half your, almost half your cost. And then, a Walther's, I use a Walther's. I prefer the 44-seat coach because it's almost exactly identical to the undercarriage of the real car. As you can see, I add the fuel tank and do some other stuff and have to swap the trucks from the 4-axle trucks to the big 6-axle trucks that are under the baggage cars and Howard Fogg. Now this thing is 3D printed and I own the file. We're not going to discuss what it cost me to get that file done, but it was substantial. We'll discuss some of the details. The grills, I have gotten away from using these grills just because they're from Detail Associates and I can't get them anymore. But the back grill, the small air inlets, those are easy to come by. The rooftop fans, those are standard 48-inch fans. I used some from Precision Scale on this one. I just, whatever I can get for a 48-inch fan, that's what I use. The GPS dome, this is the octagon shaped dome. This one I actually had to build myself, but I found out that High Tech Details does them, and that's where all my GPS domes come from now, is High Tech Details. That dome is actually molded onto the car, and then the GPS antennas and Wi-Fi antennas here at the back of the car are out of the parts box. Some of you may recognize what those are. If you do, great. If you don't, well, that's my little secret. I'm not going to give all these secrets away so that you guys can build them yourselves on video, but if you do contact me, need help, I can help you. Now these cars, the way that Shapeways prints, they're short. So I take a Walther's car, when I get the 44-seat coach, I cut the ends of it off. And that's part of the superstructure of the car. This one, this is actually the 4th car that I built, number 4. I'm getting close to 20 on these now. As you can see, there's a little bit of gap here. And I filled those with plastic putty, but they didn't turn out so good. And as you can see, this is one of the first ones, and there's some striations and print marks in it, and that's after I sanded it. Now they're pretty smooth. I don't have to do as much work to get them nice and clean and smooth and pretty, but they still take about 150 hours. So that's a look at those two. I also do 207 and 208. And for those of you guys that follow closely, there's a new power car. It's number 2055. It was a former UP car, then went to Barnum and Bailey. It's a standard 85-foot ACF baggage, but it's got 2 generators in it, and the baggage doors are not inset, they're flush with the car body, and it's got a pretty cool roof arrangement. And I am currently working on trying to figure out how to do that roof. More than likely going to be a 3D printed replacement roof for the Walther's car and replacement doors. But that's maybe next spring. We just have so much going on with it being so wet, and trying to get hay put up, trying to get calves branded, cows to the hills, etc., etc. And, you know, family stuff, of course, comes first. So that project and the Idaho inspection car are still in the laptop, still in the planning stages. I'll get there eventually, guys. So keep looking out. Hope you enjoyed this 10 minutes of me rambling on. And I hope to see you Facebook, YouTube, maybe in person somewhere. Have a good one, guys.